Hello, welcome back to Mancinima. We are on to the second movie of this week, which is Odeon's Scream Unseen entry, and that is the movie The Dive. Now, The Dive concerns two sisters. You've got May, played by Louisa Krause, and Drew, played by Sophie Lowe, and they are experienced scuba divers, and they go out to this beautiful remote location, and they go to dive beneath the ocean, and as they're diving, there's a landfall, and May gets trapped beneath the ocean. So she gets trapped and she's got obviously rocks on her legs, and they're the only two people at this remote location. So you've got Drew and May, nobody else, and it's up to Drew to kind of fight to save her sister's life, and her sister's rapidly running out of oxygen. So that is the plot as we know it so far. I haven't actually seen the movie. I'm going to go and see the movie tonight, which is why when I come back to the second half of this video you'll see a change of t-shirt. But I did just want to mention that this movie is also being touted as a UK premiere at this year's Fright Fest, which actually begins later this week. So if I've seen it tonight, which I will, after I've seen it tonight, I've kind of seen it before the premiere, haven't I? So is this not the premiere instead of the UK premiere at Fright Fest? Who knows? Anyway, I will be back after my screening and I will let you know my opinion on this film. And here we are on day 2, so this is the day after my screening of The Dive, which was at Odeon's Scream Unseen, as I said last night. So what to tell you about this? First of all, I want to tell you a little bit more about the plot that I found out from watching the movie last night, something that wasn't in the online synopsis. Is that Drew and May are sisters, and they're on their way to this remote location. Drew has basically brought May out year after year annually to do something on this particular day. We don't really know why they're doing it on this particular day, but they do. They go out and they decide to go for this dive. And it turns out there's some kind of a friction between the two sisters. May has always seen Drew as something as a princess, something of a kind of a spoiled princess kind of a character. And she kind of resents that. And there's a moment where they're in this cave where Drew questions May's kind of attachment to her, if you like, her ability to communicate, and they're not the same people as they used to be, the way that they used to get on. So there is that. So there's that kind of added dramatic tension to the film. So it's not just a film about two people going for a dive and an accident happening. There is also this kind of underlying tension between the two characters, which actually adds to the film, which I thought was pretty good. So yeah, that's probably the only thing. There was one other scene which I didn't quite understand. That May, while she's trapped, keeps going into these flashbacks, which I'm assuming is her father and the two girls as young girls. And one of the girls is having her head held underwater. But it's never fully explained in the film what that means within the context of where they are now. I know that May, while she's trapped underwater, is having some kind of a oxygen-deprived hallucinations. So maybe it's something to do with that, but they don't really explain why this moment, why this flashback is relevant to the story that we're watching now, unless it's got something to do with the fact that she felt that she wasn't treated the same way that Drew was treated. So maybe it's that, but it's not exactly clear. Anyway, must just say the two girls give fantastic performances. It is pretty much a two-hander. There is, like I said, there is other characters in there. You do see a flashback to their father, although he doesn't have any dialogue, he's just in there. And yeah, mainly it's just the two girls themselves on the road trip, on the dive, and then obviously, you know, the attempt to get May from out underneath this rock. But they do very, very well. I thought they were very engaging, very interesting. I did wonder whether, you know, a film with a girl trapped underneath a rock would actually be boring, and I must admit when I was sitting there watching it, the moment that she went down for this dive and the moment that she got trapped, I wondered whether I would be kind of, oh come on, how long is this going to be before they get her out, and how boring is it going to be with her going backwards and forwards underwater and talking just in kind of gas masks and bubbles and things like that. But it was pretty good. I thought they managed to kind of stretch the tension out really well. There were moments of severe tension, there were moments of great characterisation. Yep, I thought it was very, very well done. I thought the cinematography was very good. Some great underwater photography. Obviously there's moments where they go down into certain caves and it gets pretty dark. You know, if you've got a decent cinema with a decent projector, I suggest you go and see it in somewhere like that. So yeah, there were moments like that. But overall I thought it was a pretty good film. If you've seen a film that I recommended to you last year, which was another film that I saw at Fright Fest, which was called Fall, about the two girls who climb up the tower, and that was pretty much a two-hander as well. So if you saw that, then The Dive is kind of the underwater equivalent of that. Instead of being stuck up high in a tower, there's a girl that's trapped down below, obviously underneath a rock, underneath the water, and her oxygen is running out. So you've got that kind of attention to it the whole time. yeah, I thought it was a very good, very interesting movie, and probably well worth seeing at the cinema, although I don't think it's going to get that big of a run. I've checked our local Odeon. Like I say, we saw the Scream Unseen last night, and it's not screening at our local Odeon as of this Friday, but it is screening in Manchester, so probably some of the other Odeon cinemas will have it, but it's not going to be a wide release, so if you can go and see this one, I do recommend that you go and see it. Another thing I'll say is, while watching this film, if, like me, you're not really keen on diving or being anywhere near deep water, I'm not really a fan of deep water or being on boats or anything like that, really, so you won't really get me on a boat. You have to do, remember Mr. T, when they used to have to put something in his milk to get him to go on a plane? That's like me, getting me on a boat. So in a movie like this, especially with a deep dive and going deep underwater, something that would, you know, it wouldn't terrify me, but it's something I would feel really uncomfortable with. There's a lot of tension and there is a lot of claustrophobia. So obviously, you know, this young girl is right, I think she's something like 50 something feet deep, trapped at the bottom of the ocean, and there's a big massive rock trapped on her leg. So if you imagine that, there's a great feeling of claustrophobia of this being underwater, and they do all that underwater, you know, when they do that muffled sound when the microphone goes underneath the water, you've got that kind of bubbling weird sound. They do a lot of that as well, so it really does build into the atmosphere of the movie. And I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was a really good, you know, really good thing. What else can I say? There's a couple of moments that are quite frustrating. I think Drew is kind of the carefree spirit. So she's the one that's kind of enjoying herself, very bubbly, very smiley, let's go on an adventure kind of thing. And May's a little bit more reserved. She's a little bit more miserable, doesn't really want to be there. So you've got that kind of character to her where Drew has to learn to kind of calm herself down and become a responsible kind of adult, if you like, in order to save her sister. And she's really tested and put through a number of things. Her sister tells her to go and do certain things, and when she gets to the surface, invariably she does it the wrong way, or there's not a way to do what her sister is asking her to do. So that's where the tension and the frustration comes in. So it can be kind of frustrating when you're watching this young girl and her sister saying to her, don't do this, and then she goes off and does it. So there's that kind of a moment in it, and it doesn't make her kind of a hateful character, but you just kind of feel, oh come on, you know, your sister's lying there at the bottom of the ocean, and all the time you've got this ticking clock in your head thinking the oxygen is running out, and she's running around trying to do different things, and questionable kind of motives in the way that she does things as well. But yeah, anyway, on the whole, The Dive is a very enjoyable film. It's a great tense film. It's a very claustrophobic film. There's moments where you're sitting in the cinema, and because you're underwater for so long, you kind of find it uncomfortable because you're putting yourself into May's perspective. So yeah, I enjoyed this film. It's not a film that I'd probably watch again at the cinema in a hurry. It's probably one that I'll wait a year or so until it turns up on TV and I'll watch it again. But I do recommend, if you've got the opportunity, to go and see this one at the cinema, because you know, our audience were encapsulated in it. Everybody kept quiet. They were drawn to the screen. They were locked into the story. Not, you know, anybody was getting up fidgeting or looking at their phones. So it, you know, locked you into the story. I thought it was engaging. I thought the characters were really good. I thought the actress was really good. I thought the direction was really good. But yeah, it's not just my own personal preference, because I don't like deep water. It's not one that I would go and watch again at the cinema. So I'd probably catch it again when it's on TV. But yeah. The Dive was a good film. It's, like I say, we saw it last night on a preview, but apparently it premieres at Fright Fest on Thursday, and it opens at selected cinemas nationwide on Friday. I do recommend you go and see it in a cinema if you can find one with nice laser projection, which will give you a fantastic image, make the most of all those lovely underwater shots. And also, what would I give it out of 10? I'd give this one actually I want to go 7.5, but I don't really tend to do halves. So I'll probably go, let's stick with 7. I'll stick it 7 out of 10, because it's a good film. Like I said, there are some frustrating moments, and it's not one that I'd watch again at the cinema, but I would certainly watch it again if it came on streaming or on TV. So there you go, that is The Dive. I hope you've enjoyed this review of that. As I say, it will be at Fright Fest on Thursday, premiering apparently, and it will be at cinemas nationwide on Friday. So this weekend, so come Monday, I'm not going to have a new video for you because I will be at Fright Fest, and obviously I'll be there watching brand new movies. But I'm going to try to do some little short clips if I can while I'm at the festival. And obviously I'll give you the full rundown of Fright Fest and have like a little video of Fright Fest once I come back from Fright Fest. I've said Fright Fest too many times, haven't I? I'm going to stop saying that. So, I will see you all next time. You know what to do, don't you? please give this video the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this review. Don't be a thumb bandit. You know, the thumb bandits, the people are a bit thick and they kind of give you the thumbs down. All us decent people do that. If you are brand new to the channel, if you've enjoyed this review, thank you, and thank you also to all of the new subscribers. If you're brand new to my channel, please subscribe. Loads of different videos on here, loads of different reviews, loads of different kind of visits to places like there's one of Hollywood, Universal Studios. There's some loads of dinosaur videos on this platform, so please go and check those out. And of course, hit the notification bell. It will let you know when I've done another one of these new videos. Like I said, there's a Fright Fest one's coming up after I get back next week. And also, what else can you do? Oh, I know this. Go see Dive, and then let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Or come and have a chat with me in the comments, and let me know what you think about any of the other videos that you've seen recently, or some of the films that you've seen recently. Coming up on Monday, I've done a special video. I actually recorded it back in July, but it's a Halloween playlist. So when it gets into the month of October, I tend to watch a load of horror films, and I've just done a little video about that to let you know what kind of horror films that I'm going to be watching. And hopefully you'll enjoy that, but that's going to take place because I'm not going to be around on Monday to do a brand new video, so you'll have that to look at, and then I'll do some videos when I get back from Fright Fest. So until then, thank you once again for watching. I'll see you all soon, and goodbye.